Hey, everybody. I hope you're having a good Thursday. Today is September the 23rd. It is College Go Week. Today is Gene Day and College Spirit Day. So I am wearing my Purdue shirt today. It's amazing. I keep going out, and every time we have one of these college weeks, I'm like, oh, hey, I need to pull out my USI shirt where I graduated and got all my degrees from. And then I realized, like, I don't really have anything good from USI. They're all old or something like that. So I just need to get some good stuff. Eventually I'm going to have to do that. But hey, let's take a look at your assignment for today. We're looking at Learning Check 923. For those of you that aren't joining us today, or if you need some extra help, hopefully this video will give you a little bit of guidance and help through that. This is an assignment that you do need to make up. So if you are not here today, or if you miss this, you do need to make this assignment up. Today we're going to be looking at theme. And in particular, we're looking at the story Harrison Bergeron. And you might think, wait a minute, did I read? Yes, you did. You read an excerpt of this on the CSA last week. And so I wanted to give you the full text. I understand that some of you might have read this before, which was very helpful, I'm sure. But let's take a look at the text first. Let's take a look at theme. That's what we're looking at. And what is theme? Theme is the moral or the lesson to be learned. It's the takeaway, the thing that you are supposed to get from the reading experience, right? That's what we're looking at. And we get theme in three kind of broad categories or pieces reveal it to us in the text. First off is the characters. So we see the characters, and then we start to identify with the characters, and we empathize with the characters, and we feel for the characters, right? They look like us. Hopefully, we start to identify with them, like they look like us, they talk like us, they act like us. But when I start to be able to identify or at least envision those characters, then I start to look at the action. What are they doing? So the first thing we're looking at is characters, and the second thing is the action, the plot, what goes on in the story. By looking at the characters and seeing, okay, here's all the things that you're doing and all the things that you went through. And then I start to say, why did you make those decisions? What was going through your mind? What was your thought process? And then maybe I look at it and say, wait a minute, would I have done the same thing? Should I have done the same thing? I had a similar experience. How did I react, right? And so then you start to be able to put yourself in the character and in the action. The third piece that we're looking at is the resolution. That's the ending of, and that's the solution to the problem, the conflict, the thing that the character was working throughout. And so what we want to do then is by looking at that piece, then we can start to think about like, okay, here's what I should be doing. This is what they're trying to tell me, that if I ever am in this situation, this is something I could do. Or if I'm wanting to do this, here's a lesson. So by looking at those three pieces, character, action, and resolution, I can start to draw the theme out, the lesson or the moral. We're going to be doing that today by reading Harrison Bergeron by Kurt Vonnegut, who, by the way, is a great Hoosier. He is a very famous Hoosier, at least famous in writing Hoosier. This story, I think that you got the gist of it already in the excerpt. The year was 2081, so it's set in the future. And the goal was to make everybody equal. Nobody was smarter. Nobody was better looking. Nobody was stronger. Everybody had the same level playing field. But to do that, they added handicaps to the people. So if like somebody was found to be smarter, they did something to make it harder for them to think or to rationalize or to talk or whatever. If somebody was like a great athlete, they would do something to slow them down, to make them just like everybody else. I know that we have talked a lot throughout, different times throughout your educational career, the idea of equality and how everybody should be treated the same. And this starts with that very basic concept, but then it takes it to the extreme. Let's take a look at the constructed response question, question number 5 on your text. This is the one that really gets at theme, okay? We are using the TPAC model so that you have a fully developed answer. What that means is that you state clearly your answer, you take a position, and then you illustrate it by using examples from the text, and you justify it by using that analysis to explain how this example proves your point. Let's look at the question, number 7 or number 5 here. The utopian ideals of this society that this society was built on transformed over time into a dystopian reality where everyone was forced to be the same through any means necessary. Many have called this a cautionary tale, but what is the warning? What is the warning? What is the message to us? So in other words, then, we start with this idea of what should I take from it? What is this text trying to tell me? Okay. Now, in the topic sentence, in your T sentence, okay, the thing that we are looking for is part of the question. So that may be the warning So we use the picture of the warning. One of the warnings that this text provides, okay. We also want to use the title and the author. One of the warning that Kurt Vonnegut gives us in Harrison Bergeron is, and then your answer. So we have part of the question, we have the author and the title, and then we have your answer. So whatever that warning is you think he was giving us. Find an example in the text. So let's say toward the end, one of the examples you want to use for whatever the warning is, the answer you want to do is where Harrison pulls off the ballerina's mask, and we find that she's a beautiful woman. Okay, that's your example. That's your E. Retell that in your own words. That's a paraphrase, and that helps us understand that you really got what that example means. In other words, Harrison let her be free. Harrison gave her the chance to be who and what she really was. Then the analysis. That's the part where you draw that line between here's an example and here's my answer. How do they show that? How does this prove my point? This is the part that takes some effort, because this is the part that you create totally on your own. The T, you're pulling pieces together and then your answer, right? The E, you just go find it. The P, okay, you have to reword it, you have to restate it, but that's not a lot of original thought. The A, the analysis, that's original thought, and that's the part that takes the most effort. When it gets to the conclusion, this is your take on it, your wrap up, this is your kind of ending of it. For that might be why you think that's a good warning, or do you think that's a necessary warning, or do you think that will never happen, or what is your take? What is your kind of final stab at this idea, right? And it's kind of like, think about like this is the last thing people are going to hear from me on this, right? Like if you don't hear anything else, take this away from it, right? If you don't remember anything else, take this away. It's kind of your parting thoughts, okay? Again, this is to be written in the TPAC format so that your constructor response is fully developed. Want to make sure that we have all those parts. Of all the questions on this one, this is the one that's going to be graded, and this is the one that's going to be added into RDS, and this is a learning check. So you want to make sure that you're doing your best work on this, okay? Give us your best effort on this. Again, if you're having any troubles, problems, concerns, whatever, please make sure that you're reaching out to either Ms. McGuire or I so that we can address that and help you become, help you to be as successful as you can with this, okay? Good luck, and look forward to seeing what you have to say.